United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call?
Vice Chairperson Ezell.
Here.
Commissioner Davis. Here. Commissioner Lance. Here. Commissioner Sherrill.
Here.
Commissioner Souder.
I would like to welcome Mr. Sherrill, Mr. Souder, to our board. It'll be interesting, I hope, and we continue. We've been pretty successful taking care of East Ridge and following up with codes, and hopefully we can continue and keep progress going.
Sounds good.
We've got some business to take care of before we get to our first item on the agenda. We have to vote in a new chair and vice chair. And so I would like to make the motion that Amanda Davis is chairman.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call?
Vice Chairperson Ezell.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis. Yes. Commissioner Lance.
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Souder.
Okay. Now I got to have a motion for a vice chair.
I would like to make a motion to keep Jeff Ezell as vice chair.
Second.
Can I get a roll call?
Vice Chairperson Ezell.
Yes.
Commissioner Lance. Sorry. Yes. Sherrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Souder. Yes. Chairperson Davis. Yes.
Okay. So at this time, I'm going to move over 2 seats and allow Ms. Davis to get started.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're very welcome. Congratulations.
Stay here. So y'all are gonna have to bear with me, kind of deer in the headlights here. If everybody's ready, I'd like to go ahead and review the minutes from last month. If everybody has reviewed, if there's any questions or changes that need to be made.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the August meeting.
Second that.
I would like to welcome our new board members, Grant and David.
Got to vote.
See, that's what, yeah, told you.
You're
Bear
good.
with me.
You're good. You're good.
Vice Chairperson Ezell.
Yes.
Commissioner Lance.
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Souder. Yes. Chairperson Davis.
Again, I'd like to welcome you guys, and thank you so much for your time. Okay, so, new business. If y'all are ready, can we go ahead and go over 12 Sheridan Road? Ready?
So a complaint was called, and I'd say a couple weeks ago, that there was trash and debris on the property, broken windows, and vagrants living in the structures. So there's a house itself, and then there's also an accessory structure in the back. A site inspection was completed the same day. There are multiple code violations that need to be addressed. You've got disabled autos, tons of trash and debris on the property due to renovations. New windows that have been put in are now busted from people breaking in, along with they have boarded up the doors on both the primary structure and the accessory structure, and you can tell that they have pried those open to get in. The accessory structure has broken windows, rotted wood. It's unsafe for anybody to be in due to the lack of maintenance and or destruction from the vagrants. The property has been empty for at least 2 years, the amount of time that I've been here. I know that it's tried to be rezoned multiple times, and the Planning Commission has denied that. There was open permits. The permits have now expired. So now it just sits, and it's pretty much rotting away and causing issues for the neighborhood by allowing the vagrants to be in or out, and then all the trash and debris on the property. It needs to be brought into compliance, and new permits will have to be pulled due to them being expired and work not commencing.
Were you able to reach Finley Road, the owner? And it's been vacant for how many years?
At least 2 that I know of. But to my knowledge, previous code officials have brought it in front of this board before.
Did you send them certified?
So what we really need to do, I guess, is go back and reboard it up from what I seen. I drove by it, and post it and send certified letter to this owner to show up before we make a different decision.
So I did change the repair, cleanup, demolish paper just a little. On the bottom of it, I think I put on the bottom of it, yes, in the bold, instead of them having the 10 days to appeal, rather than having to push cases off for a whole nother month because they didn't have that time frame, we have tried to make it to where they come and do like a show cause first before we place any orders on the property, but that way we're not having to push cases out further, and I can get them in sooner rather than later. So this is more or less just kind of a first appearance for you guys to see what's going on, and then if we need to send an order for show cause, we can. But like I said, just to keep it from being pushed out longer than it needs to be.
Do we know how long this person has owned the property?
Since 2016, they bought it July 1 by John Cunningham.
Okay, so, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's okay. So John Cunningham owned it and sold it to Finley Road.
Mhm.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Probably bought it to fix it up and did nothing with it.
So it's possible it's been vacant for 7 years?
It's a possibility.
It's a nice,
know for
it's a nice
2.
structure looking at the outside. It
Yeah.
really is.
And you can tell that they've put in some work, but the problem is you've stopped doing the work, and now people have noticed you've stopped doing the work, so now it's an opportunity for whoever to go over there. So all the new windows that you just paid to replace on this massive primary structure are now ruined, so.
So what was the rezoning? What were they attempting to do?
To my knowledge, they wanted to make it a quadplex and divide it up, and planning commission said no.
Any idea who the abandoned vehicles belong to?
Have no idea. I can always ask the police department to go out there and run the VIN and see if it comes back, stolen, or if we can find the owner, but
Was there any, look like active, habitation when y'all looked at it? Like maybe squatters or anything?
I couldn't get physically inside the house. The windows are too tall, so I couldn't get in. Now the door on the back portion of it, where it's boarded, you can move that board to get to the actual physical door, but it is locked. However, if you really wanted to, you can climb through the windows. Accessory structure, I was too afraid to even try to go up the stairs to get up in there, so I just left it alone.
I think we ought to condemn it, board it up, and post it, and send a certified letter to the owner to be here at the next meeting. Doesn't show, we'll take it from there. I will. I'll make a motion, we condemn the property, make sure it's boarded up, and send out certified letters to the owner. However, we gotta get in touch with him. I think we do it 2 or 3 different ways. And make every attempt to get a hold of him to be here at the next meeting to answer for it.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Vice Chairperson Ezell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lance,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Souter, Chairperson Davis.
Yes.
The next one is 1029 South Seminole Drive, and there's no one here to represent that property.
So, the fire department reached out to us previously with this property, because they had to do a medical call out there, and they advised us that just the conditions, of the home were not good. Animal Services was called out there when I sent this paperwork, which was August 29th. They were called out for a deceased dog. I responded with Animal Services since I had a way to get in, because once fire or police leave, it's hard for people to give us permission to go back. So since we were all out there, I went with them. No one's currently living in the house. I think that they just moved out, but it needs to stay that way. It was a rental property. Apparently the owners live behind that house. It's a large lot, so I guess it's split. Based upon my findings, it's extremely unsanitary due to the number of bugs and trash in the house. The floor system in the entire house is bad, and I'm not talking just subfloor, I'm talking it's all the way down to the joist. You can feel it, it's unsteady, uneven. You can see where the walls are starting to separate from the floor itself. I'm not sure if it's on a slab or a crawl space. I did not look under there. I saw what I needed and tried to get out. The bathroom is in disrepair due to the toilet's been leaking, but also, which you guys have saw in the pictures, I don't know what they have done, but it's literally sideways, and it's caused a lot of water issues as well. Their garage is pretty nasty. It smells like there might be more deceased animals. I don't know, maybe it's just trash and debris. I really could not tell you. Like, it's doesn't look as bad, but the smell's pretty ferocious. You got minor things. You got some missing plates on, just like, it looks like cable wiring that was in the walls at one time, possibly. But in my, I guess, opinion, it poses a threat to life safety to any future occupant, just like I said, for floor distribution loads. It needs to be condemned and brought back into code compliance, and proper permits need to be pulled, and licensed contractors need to conduct the work. The owners were out there when we were out there. She made the statement that it would not take that long. She has friends that can commence the work, and I said, no ma'am, that's not how this works. Please make sure you pull proper permits and contractors are out there. I did receive satisfied service from them as well.
So you have talked to the owners about it? Okay. How come they're not here today?
That's a great question. Because it even says in the paper, just like on 12 Sheridan, to be here today.
Read it.
I'm surprised that, I mean, they live basically on the same lot, and
So this property in particular is a problem property anyways, especially for the police department. Multiple stolen vehicles come off of this property. So they're very well aware of what goes on at this property. But while they're not here, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Anybody like to make a motion?
I make a motion we condemn the property until they can bring it up to codes to satisfy you. Didn't show this time. And it's wrote down to show up.
Right, that's already.
And show up at the October 11th meeting to answer a few questions.
Second.
I have a feeling they won't show.
Vice Chairperson Ezell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lance,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill,
Yes.
Commissioner Souter,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. So if we could move on to, old business, 1643 Key West Avenue. Is anybody here? Yes. You could please state your name and address for the record.
Stephen Rebels, 1643 Key West Avenue.
So I went out to do a reinspection on Monday. The shed that was being built in the backyard is complete. It's just waiting on the roofing. My residential inspector did go out to conduct an inspection on that, and he passed that as well. They're finishing up just cosmetic things on it, and they've removed all the items in the backyard that would be considered open storage, trash, debris, same for the front. They had a few loads that they still needed to take to the dump, but other than that, much, much, much better.
I took one today.
This was this was stemming from a complaint from a neighbor, correct? And then there was water issues that were, where he, keeping it.
Rain, yes.
Yeah. So all of that is tucked away and cleaned and,
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it gets cold, though, it starts raining. I'm trying.
So was it currently under a condemnation order, or what
No.
was the status? It was just follow-up for this time? Okay,
It was brought in just for the amount of debris out there.
right, okay.
So no ma'am, it's never been condemned.
Code's happy.
I'm happy. They've met my requirements, so.
Make a motion, we close the case at 1643 Key West without prejudice. If anything goes wrong, it can come back.
I know, but
Second.
I'm not doing anything else for it.
we have a motion and a second to close the case on 1643 Key West Avenue without prejudice.
Vice Chairperson Ezell. Commissioner Lance.
Yes.
Cheryl.
Yes.
Commissioner Souter.
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. Thank you so much
Thank you, everybody.
for all your hard work. Next is 3607 Fountain Avenue, up-down progress from July 12th. No one is here for that property.
I have not had contact with the owner since the last time this property was on the agenda. It's still in the same condition as it was in when I brought it to you guys on July 12th. The permit that was on file is expired, so there's no active permits. The property owners failed to show any improvements on the property, so I don't know what else to do. I went out with the residential inspector, we walked through the entire thing, gave him the best advice that we could, told him that cost effective and time effective, it would be cheaper to just go down to your foundation and rebuild just because of the amount of damage that the structure sustained. Because he wanted to go room by room, and that would take forever, especially because he's trying to do it by himself, I believe. That's
Have you had any other contact since your meeting with him?
I emailed him because he was asking, I think, who to go through to get the sewer capped and a few other things, because he talked like he wanted to go forward with demolition to get it down to foundation and rebuild. And he also asked if he could have a contractor trailer on the site so he could stay. And I told him no, that we don't allow that. And that's the last that I've heard.
And this was Kevin Huff, right? It
Yes.
was his aunt's house.
He says permits have run out, because in July, he estimated 8 to 9 months to finish the repairs. And so we lifted the demolish motion. So he could do that.
I will have to go back and look at OpenGov. If they normally expire after a year, but if they haven't commenced work in 6 months of the issuance of the permit, it automatically expires. So I feel like that's where it was. Like, it was still active, but at this point, he hasn't done anything, so they automatically expire.
No communication. Just by way of recollection, this body, at the last meeting on July relative to the property, you all lifted without prejudice there was a prior order to demolish the structure. That was lifted without prejudice, but this body reaffirmed its prior findings with respect to the property being unfit for human habitation.
Had a note on there that the permits must be pulled. That was a requirement.
I was gonna say.
They have not been.
Not only that, but from an AHO standpoint, for the administrative hearing, we've also issued citations just for lack of upkeep on the grass as well. Like, there's been no effort shown, and I just had to send that to our street department to go and have the grass cut. So, I have no idea what's going on.
I make a motion, we go back and demolish the property.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Vice Chairperson Ezell. Commissioner Lance.
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Souter. Chairperson Davis.
Yes.
Davis, before you move on, do y'all have a certain time frame you want that done in?
You gotta send him out letters first, right? And give him 10 days to appeal it to the council.
So just regular procedure?
And-
I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask, do we need to confirm that there's no kind of transfer of property or anything going on behind
Anything,
the scenes that we don't know about?
I can check that.
I know that he's behind on back taxes.
Add that note.
Can, I didn't.
We'll do it, the demolition, to occur within 10 days of date of service. And, we've got here,
Of satisfied service?
let me make sure I get, check it, see if there's any updated information on this property. Same, Kevin Markoff, same owner, at least as of these recordings. And I did find another address for Mr. Meadows, I think, so we'll make sure and add that. I found some PO boxes now, it's not related to this one. So, all right, we have, yeah, we've got a motion second, that's voted on already, okay.
Just wanna make sure we can have things going on behind. Last but not least, 3725 Fountain Avenue, apartment 42. Have them professional draws off you.
Yes. So there's not a representative here today, and I told them that that was okay because I have more than enough to present to you guys today. Also, that complex in general is sinking as we speak, which is why I've been in contact with the actual owners and not property management. The property manager that was there before that we were going through and their maintenance guy have been let go. Basically, to my knowledge, they went through an audit and saw that half of their units are vacant, over more than half actually, they're losing money. And then the more that they dug into it, they saw that, yeah, it was time for them to go. So they did. So I've been in contact with Jason Taylor. He is with First Community, which is over them. He reached out about Unit 42 to let me know his plan for it, and then he also authorized me to conduct an inspection on all the units in Building 5, so I didn't have to get an admin warrant, which was a good thing. I did that on September 6th with my chief building official. They do have a temp property manager on site right now and a temp maintenance man. He also has contractors on site as we speak. We went over the electrical rooms, we went over all of the items that I found, and then overall inspection of Building 5. A lot of it's minor items. There is a few life safety things that I want to see fixed first. All the vacant units are gonna get new locks and keys. Same for the meter rooms, they're gonna get new locks and keys. They're honestly just having to play catch up right now and fix everybody's issues. Granted, yes, they hired these people to do a job and they failed, and now they're having to do the cleanup on it. Overall, this is probably the most progress that we've saw, and the most communication I've had. He's very open with me. He returns all my calls. He'll call me and double check. He actually called me today to let me know that they are going to start working on the list that I provided to him. Within the next 2 weeks, they hope to have it completed. For Unit 42, they have cut out all the sheetrock that was damaged from the mold, mildew, water damage, etc. They've got to go in and do some more, but I've seen more progress with him than I did the previous managers. Yeah, that's a lot, but he's making it work, so.
Is there a estimated date of completion?
Like I said, I mean, I think I put the list in y'all's packet as well. The only things for Building 5 that were, to me, a necessity, like right off the bat, first thing first, like Unit 41, they needed to add in another knockout plate in the panel. It wasn't too big, but just, I don't want people's fingers in there. 45, that one's gonna be kind of weird, I feel. I feel like it's gonna be a structural issue. You can feel the floor shifting, and it's on the middle floor, I believe. So he did say that he's gonna have a contractor go in and pull up all the flooring and that and look at the joists and see if there's anything going on with that. 46, same thing, bathroom subfloor, it's just soft and damaged from water.
45 and 46 above and below, or are they next door to each other?
I think they're next door to each other. Cause on the bottom,
Second floor?
yeah. Yeah, cause on the bottom you got 41 and 42, and then 43, I think through 46 is the middle, and then 47 through 50 is the top. So, but a lot of the issues really just kind of repeated themselves. Some of them have missing smoke detectors, some of the HVAC units, they just need junction boxes. Kitchen sinks holding a lot of pressure, or there's water leaks, just lack of maintenance. Let me see what else I had. Some of the sinks won't drain properly. Some of the balconies where that wood hasn't been treated and all the rainwater runoff has gone on it, you can tell that they're getting loose. So they just need to be, I guess, nailed back down correctly. So that way it's not a tripping hazard, but I didn't feel that anybody's gonna fall through. That's really it. Like I said, he has the entire list. And once all that's done, we will be okay. As for 42, I know that it's gonna go under a complete renovation. They're just working things as quick as they can.
We have the building that 42's in, we have it posted right now, right?
Yes, it is condemned.
Okay, so there's nobody in any, was it 6 apartments?
No. Those are not condemned. 42 is the only
The
one
only
that's
one that's
condemned.
condemned,
Mhm. None of the other ones, yes, they have issues, but it's not necessarily something to condemn and kick them out. And honestly, out of 10 units, 5 of them are vacant, so.
On the structural part of it, is there any, you were gonna have the structural person go back out and look at it, or they have, okay.
They're getting their contractor out to pull up, because they have, it looks like laminate flooring in right now, so they're gonna pull that up and go under the subfloor and see what's going on. I told him, I think a lot of the issues is just from water leakage. I don't know if it's because pipes haven't been tightened, if there's something going on behind the sheetrock in the walls. I don't know. I can't see it unless they open it up. But I think that's why a lot of their floors are having issues, and some of those returns for the HVAC stuff, most of them have their own in there, and they just haven't been handled properly. So all that water from in there too.
But you feel like he's making progress?
Much more than I promise you we've saw from the beginning.
We couldn't get anybody here.
And I also talked to the district manager too of First Community. Her name's Elizabeth. She was willing to drive from Atlanta today, but honestly, I told her not to. I told her I would give her the update, exactly what I told her I was gonna tell you guys, so. Because they've shown me progress, and because they were willing to let me in automatically to go to do the inspections and not reject, the inspection, I told her not to worry about it.
So basically, we just need a status update at the next meeting. There's nothing to change at this point.
Do you feel good about, we can open it?
I do. If he wouldn't have been as honest and open and as communicative with me, it would have been a different story, but he has been. And like I said, everything that I've asked, he's asked me for a list, put it all down for me. Whatever you need, whatever I want, have it, and he'll have it done. He plans to have all work commenced no later than within 2 weeks. I told him that we obviously go a month out, and he said that he's hoping to have it done. If worst comes to worst, we can reconvene next month and extend it if need be, but as of now, they've done what I wanted.
So we'll just make a motion to leave it condemned until all the repairs are made and codes are satisfied.
Second.
Vice Chairperson Ezell. Commissioner Lance.
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Souter.
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
have anything else? About us tonight? Awesome. Yeah. So we are adjourned. See y'all on October 18th, is that right?
Wait, that's AHO.
October
That's the third.
11th.
11th. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Y'all are gonna have to bear with me. Have patience. Oh, Joe. This is a little.
Thank you, sir.
Full-time caregiver right now. After 24 years. Just gotta figure out.
I think you know, I watch it, it's fun, like, I didn't, honestly, I mean, I was actually really wanting them to be up on the Saints. Falcons won.
Bye, Tori. Be safe,
NFC,
please.
that was terrible. It's just bad as we, dove hunting, so I didn't see it, but,
I hope they were just playing third string and
I hope they were just looking ahead.
so the films for the other team can't see what Tennessee does when they come to their town. Yeah, I hope it's a different game Friday, Saturday.
You think they just, I didn't realize there was a delay. You think that's a lightning, and maybe they were like,
All the games in Virginia and all over the league, long time.
yeah, that's what.